Today on the table, we have the revolvers from the opening scene of Pulp Fiction. So if you and your girlfriend want to rob a diner, or a fictional diner, and possibly steal a briefcase full of gold from Samuel L. Jackson, these are the revolvers you would use, or you should use. So in the opening part of the movie, Amanda Plummer, aka Honey Bunny or Yolanda, she carries this Smith & Wesson Model 40 Centennial. And then Tim Roth, Ringo, aka Honey Bunny, or I'm sorry, he's Ringo, aka Pumpkin. He carries the Smith & Wesson Model 30. And this is chambered in 32 Smith & Wesson, and this Model 40 is actually chambered in 38 Special. And I can show you here, this is a 5-shot 38 Special for the Smith & Wesson Centennial. And then this one is a 6-shot 32. And it's a 32 Smith & Wesson round, by the way. I have a few others that are. You can see it's a little bit shorter of a round. You can see just the difference here in the length of the cylinder. And then if we actually open them up, you can see that the diameter isn't that much of a difference, but it's you can definitely see it's a little bit smaller right there. You can see it's just a little bit smaller of a diameter. But these are the revolvers that were used in that opening scene. And these are all original. These are actually really old. This is one of the first few model years of these Smith & Wesson Model 40s, and actually so is this one as well with this Model 30. This is actually a pre-Model 30, but it is the correct barrel length, corrected grips. Everything's correct except for the latch. In the movie one, it has a little bit more modern latch. I imagine it's one from the 70s, because they only did these flat latches in the 50s and early 60s. And then after that, they switched over to the other latch that most of us are more common or familiar with. Now, with this Model 40, this flat latch is actually what they used in the movie. So if you, again, go back and watch the movie, Amanda Plummer, she actually had a flat latch Model 40. So it was exactly like this. And both of these are are all original and actually great condition. This one's a little bit more worn. The collector I bought this one from, he was pretty particular and he's got a pretty large collection. He's slowly thinning out, and he lives in the middle of the U.S. But he had mailed this out to me last week or the week before, because I was like, I have to have that. That would be sweet. And it is, like I said, this is early. It's only a 5-digit serial number. It's from the 50s. And this one's actually from the late 50s. And I will make individual videos about the history of each of these models. But it's just cool because, I like buying revolvers or pistols from movies. Like James Bond's guns, Indiana Jones. And I'll make more movies about that as well. Or more videos about that as well, too. Individual scenes. But I just think, these are just really cool Smiths. They're not very common. I mean, you can't really find one of these on Guns International very easily, a pre-Model 30. And then even with the Centennials, they're pretty tough to find as well, too, especially in the conditions that they are in as well. Because most people want, the 29s, the 27s, the 15s. They don't want these. This is not a small caliber, but they just don't want these off ones as much. And it's fun to see that they were actually in a really, really famous movie in a really famous scene, because obviously, when Amanda Plummer's standing on top of the back of all the benches and pointing this, and actually Samuel L. Jackson's yelling at her to tell her to keep pointing this at him. And he's telling her, and I won't swear in this video, but to be cool, if you remember that. And even he tells Tim Roth to tell her to be cool, because she did a fantastic job acting and freaking out. So it's just a really fun scene of the movie, and these are just cool revolvers to have. Now, Samuel L. Jackson, aka Jules, he actually carries, most people think is a 1911, but it's actually a nickel Star Model B is what he's using. And I have a Star Model B, it's just that mine's a blue, not a nickeled one. And maybe I could try to find one, because I think he's got custom grips on his. He's got those like pearl grips on his. But maybe I can make another video about that if anybody wants to see, or I'll just make a video of my Star Model B. But let me know in the comments what your favorite pistol or revolver are from that movie. So from Pulp Fiction, let me know what your favorite pistol or revolver is. And let me know in the comments on that. And just, your favorite scene as well. And then I will talk to you tomorrow. Thanks again.